just rolling along on Groundhog Day. Ron Nelson is with us. Butch has got some numbers out. They don't mean much when you're in January, but for the most part, he still thinks we could be another billion year.
I think that's the new standard.
Well, if it's not, something went wrong, right?
Well, I mean, again, there's just so many different things that are happening in this town as it relates to our growth that we just take some adjusting, getting used to. Another thing that's, I was here on time today, Bill.
That was good.
Why
had time
is that?
to set up. You got your camera on.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
I'm adjusting because of this new thing that's starting to already come in February. Potholes. We're starting to get some potholes on the street. So I didn't think we could ever recover from last year, and we did a great job. I mentioned to the mayor often, Mark Cotter, I would encourage our listeners to do the same, to just thank them for the great job that they did on our streets last year. And the good news is it looks like they're going to have a repeat performance this year. Wanted to do another shout-out to tomorrow. Something's going on down at Central Church. Just a friend of mine, Tom Henderson, is doing something called ResGen, or Restoration Generation, just where he gets 1,000+ men together for a Saturday morning to share the gospel. And it's been a really cool thing. And so I'm not promoting the event because it's more than sold out, but I just want to do a little shout out to him.
Isn't it nice that kind of an event is sold out in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and the story's really cool. So just a reminder to those that have got tickets, make sure you show up. Going to be a little rain tomorrow, but otherwise, so what? It's going to be a great day.
33 days in, what have you seen?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's just I wanted to notice something or talk about something that I'm noticing that's starting to become more mainstream. You know, we've talked a lot over the years about investing and, you know, just the benefits of real estate. You know, this is a show about commercial real estate, you know, and that's a pretty wide and diverse topic, you know, and so I don't like to get too deep in the weeds and, you know, talk to just a narrow segment of our audience. But obviously commercial real estate can involve the investment aspects of owning real estate. Obviously, the leasing part, buying buildings, you know, all of that. And we tried to touch on different aspects of them throughout our program here. But as it relates to investing in real estate, clearly investing is a great thing to do. You can, you know, people talk about buying houses a lot. Again, we're commercial real estate, not to say that that's not a great tool. There's just other folks you have on your programs that can talk probably more intelligently about that. Yeah, Tony and so forth. But, Bill, I don't know if you've been noticing this, but do you start to get pop-ups even on your computer about investing in commercial real estate now lately?
Oh, yeah.
To me, that's a kind of a new thing, and I, you know, kind of feel like I've got my antenna up usually, so obviously I catch some of that, you know, some people might just pass by it, but it's because it's becoming so popular, and it's kind of a message along the lines of this sometimes that says, what investment category has outperformed all other investments over the last 25 years? Commercial real estate. And what has been previously unapproachable, now you, the ordinary investor, you too can invest and hopefully make money in real estate. I might have injected that word, the hopefully part, but, you know, sound familiar? You know, maybe we need to have, if we're going to talk about this topic, bring Jesse Schmidt in, you know, because
we could do that.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, it is, some of these messages clearly can have scam written all over it. Doesn't mean they are scams. It doesn't mean these things aren't true. It just means that one needs to be careful. It's tricky stuff.
Well, if you see something that it seems out of line on your cell phone, or you see it in another computer or something, avoid it.
Well, here's where I'm talking about this, because in the past we've talked about investing in real estate, and generally that's kind of in the context of, do you want to buy a 4-plex? Do you want to buy a 12-plex? And that's certainly, we've seen a ton of that going on the last, really since COVID. You know, there's been just a real appetite for investing in properties. We call it a flight to safety, but, you know, property is generally a pretty safe thing to invest in, but that can still be unapproachable for some. So now you're seeing things on the internet that you can put $100 and start investing, and you too can be, you know, a real estate guru or, you know, whatever. And the concerns I have with this stuff is tricky stuff. And there's just a lot that goes into the due diligence. You hear us talking about due diligence. You're making a big purchase. And so you want to know what you're doing, what you're getting into. And so let's just talk about a couple of pitfalls, rules to, kind of operate from if you are looking to invest in that arena where it just makes it very easy. There's a guy named Warren Buffett out there.
You think?
That always operates, has some phrases that, pearls of wisdom or whatever that I like to call them. But in simple terms, Warren just says this relates to stock. It relates to, so many aspects of just investing, and that is invest in what you know. And so I'm not a fan of real estate investing in other cities. There's a lot that could go wrong with the property that I'm buying down the street. And so I can walk in the front door of that. I can drive by it. I can see it every day. That feels tangible. I don't know what the heck, might be going in out of town. So at that point, you're at the mercy of the sponsor. There's some good ones out there. There's some bad ones out there. I've been doing this 30 plus years. I still can't tell the difference. So for the novice investor, if you're looking to do something like that, there's some good opportunities right here in Sioux Falls. Secondarily, invest in somebody that's got a good track record. Once again, common sense stuff, but if some guy that you run into at a cocktail party or at the bar, says, hey, I got this deal and you should look at it. I think the second question should be, what's the deal? Number one. And number two, have you done this before? What's your track record?
And where are you from? Have you just moved to town?
Well, that
Do you
too.
know anybody?
That too. So, I'm not, again, saying the newbies can't, pull it off, but I'm just saying be a lot more wary of that. The stakes are too high, to invest your hard-earned money with somebody who's learning as they go. You don't want to be the test pilot or the guinea pig for something like that. So anyway, just a couple of primers and tips on things that I've started to notice that I don't know. Some of it is a little troubling to me. It's making it into a commodity. It's like walking into a bank and, putting $500 down to buy a CD and walk out 15 minutes later. And in that situation, you can potentially be safe. Real estate is just never going to be that simple. And those that try to make it that way worry me.
And you mentioned commercial real estate. Trust me, if you're buying a home and it's just buying the home, it's got its ups and downs, too. You just walk in and say, I want to buy the home. Well, you'd better have an understanding of what could go wrong in the home, where you're at, and where you might be in 3 years.
Well, and then, we talk a lot about apartments and talking about investing, and that's what a lot of people like to invest in is apartments and some of these apartment funds and things like that. And, guess what? Not everybody, Bill, is home ownership material. Some people don't have the skill sets. Some don't have the common sense. And some just, a lot of people just don't have the interest. What a treat to get a foot of snow and realize that I don't have to go out and deal with it because, my apartment managers, or whatever are. But, so that's what's keeping our apartment market going. That's, all of this as it relates to investing. And again, this is why I talk about Sioux Falls. And, I'm not going to tell people keep your money here, but I'm just saying it's a safe place to keep your money here. But, we talk about all the great things, in this town. But we've also talked about, our labor shortage, our unemployment rate, is very low. And a lot of this has been kind of attributed to apartment investing. So the other watchword I would caution people with is we're a little bit overbuilt right now in our apartment market, and that's actually very predictable. What have we been saying for the last 3-4 years? Build, 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 go, 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 more, more, more. And that's largely been true. And it's largely because we have a significant need of housing shortage, in our town. Problem is there's not really a faucet, that says, okay, the bathtub's full for the moment, so let all the people move into all these new units, take a pause, and, let the market kind of catch up with itself. That's what we're doing right now. We've heard about, last year's building permit numbers were still good, second top year that we've ever had, but they're also just about a half of the previous year. So 22 was just absolutely practically unbridled go, 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 go. And a lot of that was apartments, and we know that, So kind of footnote on the investing aspect, if you're looking at certain funds, and like I said, a lot of great projects in town here. But, when you're looking at these things, another caution is look for actual numbers. And that's kind of hard on brand new projects because, all you have to do is projections. And, what are projections? Educated guesses. Really all they are. And again, I'm not diminishing them. You put a lot into your projections so that banks feel comfortable investing millions in this project. So I'm not diminishing projections. But again, recognize what they are for what they are. And that is a prediction of the future and, a business plan that they're crossing their fingers that goes well. Another thing that a lot of investors prefer to do is look at existing projects. I don't have to hope this new one is going to work. I don't have to hope that this new one is the tipping point that we put the market over and that we're full. Buying an existing property, what's been going on the last 3-4 years, chances are things aren't going to look a lot different the next 3-4 years as they have the last 3-4 years. So you do have a predictability factor there where you don't in investing in brand new properties. So anyway, a few tips.
Well, Ron Nelson's
property.
Been doing it how many years in Sioux Falls?
Over 30. I kind of lost count after that.
All right, so 30 years. He probably could take another phone call. How do they reach you if people have questions? They've just moved to town, coming to town?
Well, and not that we've got real deep into it today, but sometimes people are writing stuff down and then they don't get an opportunity to hear the next thing. And so you can watch replays of this program on our YouTube channel. And otherwise, feel free, please, to reach out and talk to us direct about real estate investing. It's not a one-size-fits-all proposition. And you can reach me direct at 605-728-7600.